Anywho, I wanted to end off saying that for me, I do not entertain black men or white men who are like that, who have that kind of aspect of thinking lighter is better and darker is worse, especially in the case of light-skinned black men or dark-skinned black men. Many of the time, people will basically have an idea that, if it benefits them, it's a good thing. But you have to understand, why does a person have that idea? Is because they feel less than. They feel inferior. Why would they want a man who feels inferior? You get what I'm saying? So, for example, there have been times where I would know that there would be like someone who was white passing, for example, and they would be maybe Hispanic descent or something. If they thought that a good trait that they had was being white and phenotype, I would not think that that's a good thing. And that's not anything against me, because they're talking about themselves. But from my perspective, I do not like to praise whiteness. That's my thing. I don't praise whiteness. On black men, people will always be like, how are you not praising whiteness, I guess, because you think that black men are unattractive or whatever. But that doesn't have to do with whiteness, now does it? You don't have to think that someone is, beautiful to think that whiteness isn't the best. To think that whiteness is the best thing, you know what I mean? What I mean by that is, oh God, I have so many race cars around my house. But to think that, I think many of the time people realize if you think someone is good just because they're better than someone, you really don't think they're good. You don't actually think that they are good for themselves. You're just comparing them to somebody else to feel better, basically. So, basically, with black men, honestly, with dark-skinned black men, it's just because I'm not dark-skinned. And I have a right to prefer what I am, My norm is going to be what I am. And a lot of you guys think, bling, just because you're black, you're going to be used to every other color in the black race. That's not how it works. We come in all colors, right? So we should accept all of our colors. And we should accept the norm for different people of different colors is going to be different colors. It's not going to be dark skin. That's the norm. It's not going to be light skin. That's the norm. It's not going to be brown skin. It's going to be depending on that individual, basically. Now, that's what I was just saying with that whole situation with black men. I don't see white men and black men as different levels of human beings. I think they are equal. I think that black men sometimes think they're less than, because they have an inferiority complex. But if they don't, they understand they're just as good as anyone else, if not better in some regards, then they shouldn't, feel less than. When I talk about black men and how I'm not attracted to them, it's just physically I'm not attracted to a black man. I'm not dark-skinned, as you can see here. I'm not dark-skinned. Nothing about me is dark-skinned. That's just a fact. I'm not dark-skinned. So, I obviously don't have to be used to seeing dark-skinned men, especially since I don't come from a dark-skinned man. I come from a father who's actually on the lighter end of the spectrum. And my mother's dark-skinned. All the males in my family are light-skinned. All the females in my family are dark-skinned, or at least darker-skinned. When I say darker, okay, of my cousins, my female cousins, some of them are brown-skinned, while my aunts are dark-skinned for the most part. One is like brown-skinned. When I say brown skinned, you should understand I see myself as brown skinned. Um, so yeah, that's basically all I have to say here. Um, as far as black men, I don't hate them, but I definitely am divested. Like, I'm not attracted to them. I've never dated one, I've never looked at one in a sexual manner, I've never been interested in one, like, at all. I think more so, black men do look at me like that. They definitely do. They look at me like I'm a person outside of their race who they prefer. You know, but I've said this over and over again. It doesn't matter how much you want to prefer me, as long as I don't prefer you. It doesn't matter what you think of me or what you want, because it takes two to agree to a situation like that. You know, it takes two to actually go ahead with it. You know, I personally would never agree to be with a black man. You know, I wish the best for them in their relationships, but not personally for me, you know. And I said this with red pill men. You know, red pill men are quite similar to black men in this, where I do not hate red pill men. You know, I do not hate dark skinned black men at all. At all. But to say how much, how can they functionally be men I would be able to be with? Red pill men would be quite the same, because red pill men could never be compatible with me in a relationship, basically. And because they can't be compatible with me, they're not an option. Same thing with black men. Black men look like females to me. Black men are just basically unattractive, okay? They're just unattractive. They look like my mother. It would be sick if I found them attractive, because they look exactly like my mother, and they look like females that I'm used to seeing since I was a young child. And on top of it, it's like, you know, what I said down below, you know, to me, their male parts aren't real to me. That's just how I see it. So that's why for me it's just like they're not an option. And the same thing with red pill men. They have all these classic ideas of what a woman's supposed to want in a relationship, what kind of man he's supposed to be to her, how he's supposed to impress her, and things of that nature. And I don't have any of those common ideas with red pill men. They don't understand me, they don't get me. It's kind of like you're trying to appeal to something that you're never going to appeal to, because we have different ideas and different views in life, you know? So that's all I have to say in this video. It's just, you know, those people for me aren't compatible, but for other people they could be compatible. So thanks for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe, comment down below, and have a great day. Bye.